Let's circle up. Hey, it's Venus Love Jones. I'm here, and I'm ready to. I'm. Hey, I was born ready. I'm ready as I'm gonna be. The truth is, I just woke up. Okay, you know. I mean, hashtag no sleep is not real, and it is not best. So I did get about an hour in tonight. Um, I was up almost all night because I was working on a last minute application that I just found out about. Sometimes that's how it is. And I'm dialoguing with myself right now because I am ready to go further. I saw a quote from I think was it Muhammad Ali or it was somebody that, and I can't remember right now, but they were just talking about how important it is to keep going and how important it is to have a good work ethic. Your work ethic can really help you out. I am going to keep shaking it up until I get somebody in the chat. Let me know where you at, where you're listening from, or if you even hear me. Holla if you hear me. We are staying determined. We are like in here. And we are going to keep going. This is like my I think this is my fifth Dialogue Matters in a row, where I've been doing this for about 5 months, where it's all about slipping in my DMs and asking me a question. It could be any question. It could be a question that you're asking right now. It could be a question that you asked before. But I'm just being here in the spirit of Ujima. So it says right now, we might be having some trouble on LinkedIn. I'm reading, but for those people who are waiting to check in with us there, maybe you can catch the replay. But we're gonna just keep going. I am going to just share a couple of the questions that I was asking myself right today, and one of the questions that I wanted to ask myself, as before I can even ask you, is a question about where am I? Like in regards to my business this month, we are working on raising funds for Little Red is Riding the Wrong Way in the Hood for the second episode. That application I was talking to you about is actually to help raise money for that as well, because I found out, wow, there's grants for people like me who are in the business of indie filmmaking. I knew that, of course, that's how I made the first one. But there's more opportunities for growth, and for opportunities to scale, and I'm excited about it. I'm gonna have one of those questions. Let me see. I'll just look for it here. One of the questions that I wanted to ask is, let me see if I can find it. Question number 1 is, what should I be paying attention to that I'm not? And when do you ask this question? This question is usually when you're looking for like daily tasks, and you're always paying attention, but to small things, but not the bigger picture. I ask myself this, right? Normally I ask this question, because this whole topic today is really about questions, because I feel like everybody doesn't even know how to ask a question, like a quality question. I don't like to think that there are any dumb questions, but I do think that there are some questions that are going to get you further in life than others. And one of my favorite quotes is, the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life. And I like that quote mainly because it kind of speaks to this. What should I be paying attention to that I'm not? Sometimes you don't even know what question to ask. Sometimes you don't even know what question to ask the God of your understanding, even, right? Like what to pray for. And I think when you come to that wisdom of what should I be paying attention to, what should I ask for, that's a good question. When you might you might be getting caught up in the smaller picture. And that's why I wanted to share 3 quality questions you could be asking anyone, anytime you're at. You can be asking this of yourself. You could be asking this of God. You could be asking this of a family member that you're trying to help. What should I be paying attention to that I'm not? And in my own life, when I need to look at the bigger picture of things, focusing on, for me, it's kind of the opposite. Sometimes I am always looking at the bigger picture and I have to go zoom in. Some of us have to zoom in, some of us have to zoom out. So for me, um, paying attention to those little signs, little miracles every day is important for me to keep going. Um, and I am so grateful for the people that have been coming in my life, what seems like miraculously or like magic. Shout out to people that are watching in Tampa Bay, because I ran into somebody recently that I used to go to her. I don't know if anybody's watching this who knew me from there, but you have the International Bazaar. There was the owner of that establishment lives here where I live in a totally different country. We run into each other in the mall. And I'm like, wow, you look like a friend of mine. And sure enough, it was Jacqueline. Now, Jacqueline has a new name now, a new start, and her new name is Shakti. So I learned something new. So, but just the idea of paying attention to your surroundings, that's kind of what Little Red is all about. I'm trying to teach kids how to be observant, and that for me is key, is paying attention to little things that happen every day. But if you are the type of person that gets caught up in the mundane, you want to have a strategy of trying to zoom out, maybe. I'm going to move on to question number 2, if that's okay. Holla if you hear me, if anybody hear me on that. Do you need to zoom in or zoom out? Let me know in the chat. Do you need to zoom in or zoom out? Because sometimes we got to do a little bit of both. But that will help us move forward. Another key question you can ask yourself, or one question I've been asking myself lately is, if I keep doing the things this way, where will I be in 6 months? And you've heard people say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? We're just talking 6 months. Where am I going to be if I keep not getting the sleep that I need? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, Tamana. Thank you for asking me, am I good? Right. Hey, that's a good question to ask. Are you good? Are you good? Um, and mean it. Like, are you okay? How are you? How are you? Is everything kosher? Is everything where it needs to be for your health? Because our health is our wealth, and that's what I'm really getting at. And a lot of small business owners, we don't, a lot of people think that, those who be hating, they thinking it's easy, you just gonna get out here and just do this work, but and do a little bit here and there, and it's just gonna happen for you. No, sometimes it is sleepless nights. Sometimes it is, you doing a little extra to get to where you need to be, because that's just me keeping it real. We make it look easy, but it's not. And we have to continue to practice asking that question of, is this working for me though? Is this a good practice? Are you good? Right? And practice something that is good. Practicing something that is good is it means that it's healthy. Is this a healthy practice? Uh, I have to ask myself that. If your system isn't sustainable, I think it was Les Brown who said you have to have a strategy for being here. And I think the strategy for me is to keep balance. So I am working on keeping yoga in my life, keeping some healthy practices of healthy eating, taking a walk when I need to, taking a deep breath in the morning, starting with meditation and prayer, if or one of the two, or journaling, something. So those things make me feel like I'll probably be here in 6 months, and I will continue to try to seek balance. So if I keep doing things this way, where will I be in 6 months? First thing comes to my mind is health. And for my fellow high achievers, I just want you to continue to focus on your health, okay? Because that's most important. Your health is your wealth, for real, for real. Because um, when you when you lose your health, you only have one problem. Okay? So let's continue to do that work. Number 3, what's another quality question you can ask? What question should I be asking instead? Now, this one is something you could ask. I've had asked this of mentors before, because sometimes the mentor that you're trying to talk to doesn't even know how to mentor that well either. And they might want to ask you the same question. What question should I be asking? What do I need to know about you? And you might see that on the application sometimes. And sometimes I know some of you may skip that question where they're like, is there something else you want us to know? It's kind of the same thing. Um, what else? Uh, what else do you need to know that is going to help you move forward? And this is a research type of question. This is for the people who research. And I think that this question, what question should I be asking instead, is also for those people who like to ask questions. Somebody, you ask them a question and they like to answer with a question. That's how you spot. That's how you spot the researcher. You ask them a question and they not always dodge, and they just trying to like gauge, and they're like at the same time, well, how do you feel about me answering that, or, right? And you like just answer the question, but that person that might answer a question with a question is really thinking. There's someone who likes to think about what they're going to say before they say it, and that's not a bad trait. Um, because once we say certain things, we cannot take them back. So if you feel like you're asking the wrong thing, and you feel like you're not getting what you need, this is when you ask this type of question. Uh, because when we don't ask this question, we're not focusing on the root of a problem often too. And the root of a problem is usually going to get you here. Like I remember, man, people don't talk about this anymore as much, but I thought we would never stop talking about 9/11. And 9/11 was this moment in history that seemed like, for those of us who are lifelong learners and people who want to constantly um, fix it, I I wanted to ask myself. I said, well, what am I doing? Is there something I am doing wrong that might have made someone feel like all Americans are bad? What can I do differently? Or something like that is the kind of question that the empath asks, right? And I do think that it birthed a poem, this type of question, and it was just me. I had a question called. I had a poem. I wonder if I could find that poem, but I was just talking about um, what happens um, when your neighbor thinks you don't care, and what can I do to make my neighbor believe that I care, or my family member, or whatever. Um, we're all interconnected. We're all, under one sky is what I mean. And sometimes we can forget that there there is a poem that I like to believe that everyone has heard by now, especially in times like this, where it talks about the. Oh, I wonder if I can find it. It was by a, a Jewish um, writer who actually believed in Nazi Germany and believed in what they were doing at one time. And believe it or not, we can be in alignment with our oppressor or on our enemy often because of programming. But they switched and one day, and it was possibly because of having a dialogue with self and with a higher power. And I'm hoping I can find it. Steve, can you help me find that? It's a poem.
First they came home.
Yes, the first they came poem. I feel in the moment to like recite that for you if you haven't heard that one yet. Um, but I'm gonna try to find it because I had recited it before when I was trying to share my unity poem, and I was memorizing my unity poem. This poem actually was inspired me to write Emoja, which is the unity affirmation, and it's from Pastor Martin Niemöller. And if you haven't heard it, this is the first time. I'm happy to be the first to share it with you, and I'll remind others. But it goes like this: First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I am not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. So that poem, it really made me think about how often we can think that we are not impacted by the stories of others, and usually we don't act until it's our child. But I wanted to ask the question of what, like, even if I didn't have children, what if it was my responsibility to help raise the village? And that's how Little Red was born. You hear it says it takes a village to raise a child. Um, and that's what I'm doing with this project. So operating at your own pace, Damon says, but otherwise it's proven that naturally bred on a different gear and scale. I'm trying to process this. Operating at your own pace, but otherwise it's proven that naturally bred on a different gear and scale. I am trying to still. So then this is what I say. What question should I be asking you, Damon, about that very thought-provoking comment? Because when I think of bread, I think of, as a poet, I think of the word. Um, and I think of making money. In our my culture, we sometimes they say, even in my if y'all haven't seen the movie, Big Deal says, well, it's one of my favorite lines. Big Deal says, I need you at work. No one messes with my bread. Right. Because what is Big Deal trying to do? Big Deal is trying to scale. Big Deal is trying to do whatever Big Deal has to do to get to the next level. Isn't that what we all are trying to do? But how can we do that without exploiting each other? How can we do that? And how can we teach the kids a cooperative economics in a way that it feels feasible and that we can destroy the systems that are trying to destroy all of us with divide and conquer? These are the kind of questions that people like me like to ask, because I want you to join the movement. And the movement is one that is about creating cultures of care. And that's why we do what we do as artivists. Yes? So, um, that's why. Yes, that's why. I'm glad. I'm glad I might have caught a little bit of what you were trying to put down there. And if I didn't, feel free to DM me and we can have a conversation later. So I can, have more time to really digest what it is that you are sharing with me. Uh, we are all on different vibrations sometimes, and that's okay too. But I just want to remind you that Dialogue Matters is me practicing living on principle. It's me showing up and learning from you just as much as I can, and just dropping as much knowledge that I know in such a short little time, at least once a month, in this space. But we are growing. This is just me being me being real. I'm still in a process where I feel like I haven't had a chance to even breathe hardly, to share pictures and reflect on this journey. But I know that that is coming soon, and it'll happen more quickly with your support. So Steve, if you can drop that Indiegogo campaign in, on the screen so they can be reminded of where to go, because I cannot believe that we are already at 20 minutes. And if you are still with me, wow, you are a real one. That means you are probably a dialogue advocate. We are recruiting dialogue advocates right now, and that is people who are about this life, asking quality questions that are going to help people have a more quality life. And thinking about the fact that story, our own and others, is transformative. And that questions can catapult you in a new direction that is healthier than the one you're on right now. Over 15 years ago, I started dreaming about living and moving abroad. And I asked myself, why did some of my favorite artists, travel the world? And it got me thinking about wanting to travel the world and researching where to go. And that led me here. And I'm grateful to have that opportunity. So, yes, good luck. I've never been to Guam. I see that. That's amazing. And you have to let me know how it go. Because right now I'm living my best life in Thailand and I'm happy. And Steve is here and we're doing the work. But I haven't even reached out to local people because I'm still reaching back to people I already know. I haven't reached out to a ton of local people yet, but I know that's next. But I'm always going to reach back to those who reached for me. So the episode 1 of our Little Red Safety series has been written and it's produced and it's up. But we are asking for your support for episode 2. And that's Little Red is Going the Wrong Way Online. I was up writing more of it last night. And it is looking very promising. I am very excited about this journey that Little Red has taken us on. And I know that it's something that will outlive me. And that's the most important thing, is thinking about what can you do for the next generation of people who will be here too. That's a good question, don't you think? If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to drop it in the chat below, even after this broadcast is over. But episode 2, you can check it out. Look for us on Indiegogo campaign, and you can check out all of the perks. If I had more time, I would have been like trying to sell you, but I'm not a salesperson. But you can, if you are a salesperson, I need you on my team. You can let the people know that what we are doing is a noble thing. And when you help people who are doing good in the world, they can do more good in the world. And it's just good karma. And I am going to end with that. I'm so grateful for you all. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. He says, I'm supporting anything and everything for y'all. And I recite this out loud for anybody who might be listening uh, and or who might be legally blind. We try to think about everybody, right? Everybody can't read these words. Well, I'm going to recite them out loud so you can hear what's going on. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching if you have eyes to see. And thank you for feeling me if you got a heart that beats and bleeds red like mine. So I am so grateful for this opportunity. And I'm going to send you love and light. And we're going to end this broadcast right now. So thank you so much, Steve, for your hard work behind the scenes. Shout out to Lukey, who might be watching, and anybody else who catches us in the replay. I appreciate you so very much. So let's keep looking up and let's keep looking out, because when we do, there's a lot less fear and a lot less doubt. And if you want to get some of you love the movie and you want some Little Red resources, check me out at patreon.com. You can buy individual poems and individual things, but you also can get the whole package, the whole collection of resources that deepen the dialogue, because I'm here for you. So thank you. I'm Venus Love Jones, and you are loved.